this type of injury, like you don't know when I wake up, I'll feel, different than the day before.
This is the first time we heard from Caitlin since the team announced on Memorial Day she was dealing with a left quad strain. She would be out for at least 2 weeks.
We were told that Clark was not seen in the open portion of practice by reporters who are on the ground there.
Just watch and absorb it, and it's the same when, I'm
The WNBA is rattled as Caitlin Clark has finally shared her injury update, and the news isn't what the league was hoping for. We'll have to wait and see. Point one.
It could be a possibility, but I could also not be available for that game too. I think just having good perspective is the best way to approach it. Like, yeah, you can be frustrated and whatnot, but, I think the medical team has done a really good job.
The panic speaks volumes. This whole operation depends entirely on one woman's legs, and they've pushed her so hard that now she can neither play nor fill their empty arenas. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe my channel for more awesome content. Thanks.
Yeah, I'll be reevaluated this weekend, so I'll miss this weekend's game. But after that, it's, day by day and see how I feel and just kind of turn to the medical staff.
Caitlin Clark has finally spoken up, and unsurprisingly, she's not returning early. Honestly, did anyone really expect her to? Letting her take a beating every night like it's a street fight, and now we're all expected to be shocked that she isn't rushing back.
I think the medical team has done a really good job of, doing my rehab every single day, staying in a routine, coming in, getting shots up. But more than anything, I think just focusing on being a really good teammate, being there for my teammates.
On May 25th, in the middle of a major game against the reigning champions, the New York Liberty, Clark went down holding her left quad. This is your top star, the franchise's most valuable player, and yet, apparently, the league acted like it wasn't a big deal. According to what we've been told so far by the team,
is that this is actually an injury that was separate from the quad tightness issue, as Caitlin Clark described it earlier in the preseason, that she dealt with before. So it's a little bit of interesting situation given that it was the same leg.
On Memorial Day, the Fever finally confirmed that she'll be out for at least 2 weeks. Boom. And just like that, the whole league started unraveling as if it were barely held together. Clark said she'll miss this weekend's game, and after that it'll be day by day based on how she feels. Translation: don't hold your breath. She's not putting her career on the line so the league can keep exploiting her while doing nothing to protect her.
Caitlin was asked when she's expected to come back. She told us she would be reevaluated after the weekend. After that, it would be day by day. The Fever are on the road for 2 road games before coming back to Gainbridge Fieldhouse next.
June 9th is when she'll be reevaluated. Let's be real, no one expects her to make a superhero-style comeback. She's human, not a marketing machine, and this injury has clearly tested her patience. But what is Caitlin doing while on the sidelines? She's learning, observing, and leading from the bench. Meanwhile, the league? Probably blaming gravity. And the fans? They're not just disappointed, they're furious. You'd think the WNBA would have predicted this, but no. The moment Caitlin got hurt, it hit the ticket market like a bomb. The June 7th game against the Chicago Sky was meant to be a blockbuster. Clark versus Reese Round 2. Instead, ticket prices plummeted from over $80 to $14. That's not just a dip, that's a total fire sale. People canceled trips, skipped hotels, and decided it wasn't even worth driving. And honestly, can you blame them? Who wants to pay top dollar to watch Angel Reese run around like a Gatorade commercial while the league's true star is sidelined with a torn quad?
It's been a connector between her coaches and teammates. They've gone 1-2 without her, and they'll be without her again.
Social media blew up with hashtags like #ProtectOurPlayers and #BoycottWNBA. And for once, the internet was actually spot on. One tweet perfectly summed it up. Why support a league that can't safeguard its brightest star? That post went viral with thousands of retweets. At this point, it's not even a debate. Fans are done staying silent. They're angry, and they've got the evidence to prove it.
So I think that's just kind of been the time for me to really find some patience, and I've never been a patient person my entire life, so this has definitely tested me a little bit, but I think it's going to be really good for me, and like I said, I've just tried to approach it in the best way I possibly can,
Fever ticket prices took a sharp dive, dropping from an average of $137 to $80. This isn't a marketing problem, it's a league-wide collapse. That's what happens when the player carrying your entire brand goes down, and everyone suddenly realizes there's no backup plan, just vibes.
Girl is spectacular. It's not like she's not a scrub. She's not only can play, she's a star caliber player who draws.
The worst part? Some of her flagrant fouls were actually overturned. So instead of facing consequences, the league basically gave her a pat on the back. It's like, great job nearly decapitating someone. Here's a sticker. What's going on here? The WNBA's review system is so broken it might as well be run by Magic 8 Balls.
When a player is injured, if the other team knows that a player is injured, they will go after.
And don't even get me started on the WWE-style antics in these games, with Reese's fake drama and Carrington's reckless fouls. It's starting to look more like a scripted SmackDown. Meanwhile, professional basketball players are dropping like dominoes, and the league is just sitting on the sidelines, tweeting inspirational quotes.
Really good teammate, being there for my teammates, being a voice for them, because that's what I am when I'm playing. So you got to still be that consistent voice when I'm sitting on the bench. So I try to do that as much as I can for them, and just try to be there for them.
Caitlin Clark is sidelined, and the WNBA's flaws are laid bare. The excitement is gone, the arenas are empty, and ticket prices are cheaper than a Happy Meal. Angel Reese keeps acting like there's a superstar rivalry, but without Caitlin, she's basically shouting into the void. And Carrington? She's out here treating people's heads like basketballs.
You guys told us during the offseason about playing quick, playing with pace, pushing the ball up the court, everyone run. They weren't doing that, especially.
This isn't competitiveness, it's carelessness, and it's not Caitlin Clark's job to fix it. The responsibility lies with the league. But judging by the current situation, the only thing the WNBA is protecting is its own denial. Let's not sugarcoat it. When Caitlin Clark left the court, so did the fans and the energy. The league's entire viewership plummeted like a rigged crypto coin. The arenas echoed like empty warehouses, and even the popcorn vendors looked bored.
Keep in mind is that this is a sort of situation where the next 2 weeks, luckily for them, the schedule is a little bit playing the Chicago Sky, the Connecticut Sun, who haven't won yet. So they are trying to hold down the fort for now while Caitlin Clark.
The Indiana Fever went 1-2 while she was out. And that one win, it wasn't due to some sudden coaching genius. It was all Ari McDonald. A player who was literally signed on a hardship contract showed up with no practice and still managed to carry the team as if she'd been there all season.
That she was sick. You could hear it in her voice that she was sick. It seems like at this point, this is the reason why we haven't seen Caitlin at 100%. We haven't seen her as quick as we saw her.
And believe me, the fans noticed. Social media erupted into a full-blown riot after Clark's injury. Everyone lit up like a Christmas tree on fire. Fans weren't just disappointed. They were ready to burn the house down. People demanded stricter officiating, proper protection protocols, and a total overhaul of how stars are promoted. You'd think that after losing your biggest asset to reckless contact, the league might show some urgency. But now, the WNBA's official stance seems to be, let's hope no one asks questions.
When you're in the heat of battle, and after the game I had some pain, and then got an MRI, and that kind of gave me the result that I didn't want to see, but those type of things don't lie. So
even Chicago Sky fans, who were probably eager to see Reese finally get the rematch she won't stop talking about, publicly announced they were refunding tickets. One fan said, "If Clark isn't playing, it's not worth it." Ouch. Imagine buying a ticket to watch your own team and deciding it's not even worth going because the opposing team star isn't on the court. That's the Clark effect. And that's also the WNBA's problem.
That is going to be longer than 2 weeks. With them saying a minimum of 2 weeks, I feel like that's kind of just giving us breadcrumbs, just giving us enough information. And I actually don't think that they're going to give more. I haven't seen her as quick as we saw her last season. If you have something going on in your legs, like your legs are actually a huge part of your shooting mechanics, something was thrown off. So if that part of her body was thrown off, it probably threw off the entire.
Caitlin's injury didn't just take a player out of action. It shook the entire WNBA ecosystem. If you're talking about a turning point, this is it. When she went down, everything crumbled. Revenue, engagement, excitement. Poof, gone. Now, fans are demanding answers. They're not sending cute messages. They want change. They're asking why the NBA has biometric tech, specialized trainers, and load management, while the WNBA is left with YouTube clips and crossed fingers. Caitlin Clark has been taking a beating for the past year and a half, and it escalated physically early this season. The demands are clear. Invest in real player safety, market more than just one player, stop letting athletes get slammed with no flagrant calls, and teach teams how to protect shooters from being cross-lined. Her return date is still unknown, and no one wants her rushing back. She shouldn't even consider it until the league proves it can protect her. Caitlin isn't just a player. She is the brand, the face, the draw, the revenue generator, the entire ecosystem. Yet she's the one lying on the court, immobile, while the league shrugs. The WNBA must grow up now, or it risks watching its golden goose fly away forever. Clark may be on the bench, but her silence speaks louder than any buzzer, and finally, people are paying attention.